3 men ordered to stand trial for murder of pensioner. 3 men have been ordered to stand trial in the Burbus High Court for the murder of 82-year-old Chandri Budu. Danaram Ramdhani, 35, Kumar Bhagwandan, 29, and Narvinder Chilu, 25, all from Region 6, appeared before Justice Sandal Kissoon on Monday, where a jury of 12 members was selected to review the evidence in the case. The defendants pleaded not guilty to the charges, which alleged that they killed Budu during a robbery at her home in Lot 83 Tain Settlement, Quarantine Burbus, between June 16 and 17, 2020. The trial is scheduled to begin on Monday, December 8, and is expected to include testimony from 8 police officers and 3 residents who are witnesses to the events surrounding the case. Cecilia Corbin is representing the state, while attorney Kevin Morgan is defending the accused individuals. Justice Kissoon indicated that the trial is anticipated to be brief, with a decision expected to follow shortly after the evidence is presented. The case has drawn significant attention and highlights the ongoing issues of violence and crime within the community. Further updates are expected as the trial date approaches. Quarantine man ordered to stand trial. Sanjay Peters, a 29-year-old resident of 127 Williamsburg Quarantine, has been ordered to stand trial for the alleged rape of a male child. The decision was made during a court appearance on Monday before Justice Sandal Kissoon at the Burbus High Court. The charges against Peters involve allegations of sexual penetration with the young boy on 2 separate occasions in July and August 2018 while in Burbus. Represented by attorney Kevin Morgan, Peters pleaded not guilty to the charges. A jury consisting of 12 members has been selected, and the trial is scheduled to commence on Thursday, December 4th. During the proceedings, the jury will hear testimony from 2 police officers along with 4 civilian witnesses as they assess the evidence presented before reaching a verdict on Peters' guilt or innocence. Cecilia Corbin is representing the state in this case, which has garnered significant attention and underscores the ongoing efforts to address child sexual abuse in the region. Further developments are expected as the trial approaches. Bartica man pleads guilty to DUI and permit breach. Clinton Blake, a 37-year-old resident of Bidarabo Road, faced legal repercussions today after pleading guilty to charges related to driving under the influence and breaching a general dealer's permit. According to reports, Blake was charged under the Motor Vehicle and Road Traffic Act, Chapter 51:02, for operating a motor vehicle while his breath alcohol level exceeded the legal limit. This violation falls under Section 39A(1) of the Act, as amended by Act 17 of 2022. Additionally, he was cited for breaching Regulations 19E(2) of the same Act regarding his general dealer's permit. The case was brought before His Worship Magistrate Tariq Muhammad at the Bartica Magistrates Court. During the proceedings, which took place at approximately 9:30 hours, Blake admitted guilt to both charges. As a consequence of his actions, he was penalized with a fine of $200,000 GYD for the DUI charge, with an alternative sentencing option of 2 months imprisonment. For the breach of the general dealer's permit, he received a fine of $15,000 GYD, also with the option of 2 weeks imprisonment. This case underscores the strict enforcement of road safety laws and regulations aimed at curbing alcohol-related offenses in the region. Clothes vendor charged with larceny appears in court. Big Smith News Watch reports, a 61-year-old clothes vendor, Nigel White, appeared before Magistrate Annette Singh at the Georgetown Magistrates Courts, facing a charge of larceny. White pleaded not guilty to the accusation. The charge alleges that on October 28, 2025, at Water Street, Georgetown, White stole a Samsung smartphone valued at $55,000 belonging to Noel Basant. In court, White's attorney argued that her client, a longtime vendor, has only one prior conviction from 14 years ago and has had no further legal issues since that time. She requested reasonable bail for White, noting that he has no pending matters in any other court. The prosecutor did not object to granting bail but highlighted that the stolen phone has not been recovered. It was reported that CCTV footage showed White removing the phone from the complainant's bag. However, White denied any knowledge of the theft. Magistrate Singh granted bail in the amount of $40,000 and adjourned the matter to December 5th for further proceedings. Pregnant woman survives crash that claims husband's life. Qaeda News reports Urjwadi Hussain, the pregnant woman who survived a tragic accident along the Good Hope Public Road on Saturday, has received reassuring news that her unborn baby is unharmed. The crash claimed the life of her husband, Julius Hanif, a 44-year-old constable attached to the mayor and town council in New Amsterdam. The couple was traveling in motor vehicle PAG 9310 when the accident occurred, reportedly due to slippery road conditions caused by rain. Hanif lost control of the vehicle, crashing into a concrete utility pole. Hussain, who sustained minor injuries in the accident, spoke to Qaeda News on Sunday, sharing details of the incident. Medical checks, including ultrasounds, confirmed that her baby is doing well, although she is experiencing pain in her ribs and beneath her right breast. An X-ray also indicated no internal damage. The couple had left New Amsterdam shortly before midnight on Thursday to pick up goods from Georgetown. Hussain recalled that they decided to rest in the car near the Maheka Bridge, falling asleep for about 4 hours. They resumed their journey around 3:25 a.m. on Friday. Not far from the bridge, I felt like I was hoisted up and then slammed down. It was like I got knocked out, and when I came to, I heard a loud blam. When I looked, the utility post was in the car, and blood was coming from his nose, she recounted tearfully. Emergency responders removed them from the wreckage and rushed them to the Mahekoni Cottage Hospital. Despite the medical team's efforts, Hanif succumbed to his injuries shortly after arrival. Reports indicated that his skull was cracked due to the impact. Hussain described how medical personnel prioritized her husband's condition upon their arrival at the hospital. Despite their attempts to transfer him to the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation, delays occurred, allegedly due to ambulance issues, as he was reportedly moved in and out of the ambulance multiple times. The couple, who had been together for 3 years, shared a son and were eagerly awaiting the birth of their next child. Hussain expressed her sorrow over the loss of her husband and the impact of the tragic accident on their family. Police investigate assault following collision in Zeelucht. Authorities in Regional Division No. 3 are probing an alleged assault that occurred on Sunday evening around 2000 hours at Fisher Dam Access Road. According to initial reports, the incident began when a 25-year-old male construction worker from Zeelucht North was traveling on an electric motorcycle. At the same time, a 32-year-old male pundit from the Zeelucht housing scheme was participating in a gathering on the roadway. A collision ensued between the motorcycle and the pundit, leading to a confrontation. Eyewitnesses state that following the collision, the rider was allegedly assaulted by the pundit, resulting in injuries to his face and body. The injured construction worker received medical treatment at the Kinderen Regional Hospital and has since been released. The 32-year-old suspect was arrested and is currently in custody as the investigation continues. Police officials are urging anyone with additional information about the incident to come forward, as they work to gather further details surrounding this case. Investigations are ongoing. Vigilant Political Action Committee, VPAC, calls for land reform in Guyana. The Vigilant Political Action Committee, VPAC, has issued a fervent statement advocating for land reform and equitable access to resources in Guyana, a nation rich in oil, gold, diamonds, bauxite, timber, and other natural assets. Despite this wealth, many ordinary citizens struggle to afford land for housing, raising profound questions about resource management and national priorities. VPAC emphasizes that the election of a president or government extends beyond selecting leaders. It involves choosing representatives who will manage the nation's assets responsibly. The wealth of the nation belongs to the people, the committee stated, urging citizens to take an active role in holding their leaders accountable. The organization criticized the tendency of government officials to engage in superficial community outreach, often characterized by photo opportunities that fail to address the real issues facing citizens. Ministers and the president may visit communities to pose for pictures or partake in local events, but these visits are fleeting. Once the cameras leave, communities are left with the same struggles, VPAC asserted. The committee argues that true leadership should create genuine opportunities for all Guyanese, including access to land and housing, a basic right that they believe should not come at a cost. VPAC calls for the restoration of land to its rightful owners, emphasizing that land must be free so families can build homes, secure their future, and thrive. VPAC urges all citizens to share this message, advocating for their right to land and encouraging community members to voice their concerns during leaders' visits. The wealth of this country should benefit every Guyanese, not just a privileged few, they concluded. As the nation continues to grapple with issues of equity and access, VPAC insists that the time for change is now, and it is the responsibility of every citizen to demand their rights. APNU condemns reckless discharge of high-powered rifle by police rank in Region 1. The A Partnership for National Unity, APNU, has publicly condemned a recent incident involving a serving member of the Guyana Police Force in Region No. 1, who was captured on video brandishing and recklessly discharging a high-powered rifle into a public roadway. The footage, which has since gone viral on social media, has raised serious concerns about law and order under the current administration. In a statement, the APNU described the incident as a harrowing display of the danger citizens face from those sworn to protect them. They characterized the act as not merely an instance of individual misconduct, but as indicative of a broader crisis within the security sector. The organization pointed to the brazen nature of the act, occurring in a populated area and requiring intervention from bystanders to restrain the officer, as a troubling sign of the indiscipline that has permeated the police force. This event is symptomatic of a deeper crisis plaguing our security sector, the statement read. It emphasized the systemic failures in the vetting, training, and supervision of police ranks, factors the APNU attributes to the politicization and mismanagement of the Guyana police force by the current PPP government. They expressed that officers behaving like vigilantes in the streets is a direct indictment of the leadership at the Ministry of Home Affairs, noting that the culture of impunity is eroding public trust. The APNU is demanding more than a standard internal investigation into the shooting. Instead, they are calling for an urgent, independent review of the operational command and psychological fitness of ranks assigned to regional divisions. Citizens deserve a police force that operates with professionalism and restraint, the statement asserted, adding that the reckless actions of the officer endangered innocent lives. The party has placed accountability directly on the Minister of Home Affairs and the Commissioner of Police, urging them to provide a credible plan to restore discipline within the force to protect public safety before more lives are jeopardized. Sherrod Duncan, MP, APNU Shadow Minister of Home Affairs, underscores the urgency of the situation as the call for reform intensifies. trial on March 2020 elections irregularities to resume in February 2026. The trial concerning irregularities during the March 2020 general and regional elections is scheduled to continue in February 2026, with new sessions set for the weeks of February 16th to 20th and February 24th to 27th. These dates were announced during last week's proceedings at the Georgetown Magistrates Court. The trial is following case management guidelines aimed at organizing the process and ensuring that all parties are prepared for each phase of the proceedings. During the last session, the trial continued under the oversight of Acting Chief Magistrate Faith McGusty, although many proceedings were adjourned. Notably, new evidence emerged, including testimony from Inspector Junior Blair of the Criminal Investigation Department, CID, headquarters. He provided insights into the extraction of videos from the phones of party agents Bibi Aini Shah Mohammed of the People's Progressive Party, PPP, and Sassanareen Singh during the elections. 9 individuals are currently facing charges of conspiring to manipulate the election results in favor of the APNU plus AFC coalition, allegedly seeking to deny victory to the PPP. Among those charged are former Government Minister Volda Lawrence, former Chief Elections Officer Keith Lowenfield, former Region 4 Returning Officer Claremont Mingo, and former Deputy Chief Elections Officer Roxanne Myers, among others. The controversy stemming from the March 2020 elections delayed the official results for over 5 months, culminating in Irfan Ali being sworn in as president on August 2, 2020. As the trial progresses, further updates are anticipated regarding the ongoing investigations and legal proceedings. Stabroek market vendors voice concerns over displacement amid beautification efforts. News source Guyana reports, despite recent assurances from the government, several market vendors at Stabroek Square are voicing significant concerns about potential displacement and lack of proper notice amidst ongoing enforcement actions by the Georgetown Mayor and City Council. Vendors report that unexpected enforcement measures have left them unable to earn a stable income during what is typically the busiest season of the year. Ramona Rama, who sells eggs at Stabroek Market, recounted her experience of being instructed to dismantle her stall early last Thursday morning. "We received a letter on November 2nd indicating the market would undergo cleaning, but there was no mention of a closure," she stated. Another vendor, Sunita Sukran, who has served the market for 17 years, echoed these sentiments. She described the financial strain caused by the restrictions, noting substantial losses due to spoiling goods and unsafe working conditions. City Hall's response has been dismissive. "I have a mortgage, a family, and no alternative source of income," she emphasized. Further complicating matters, the vendors attended a scheduled meeting with City Hall last Monday, hoping for clarity on the situation. However, they left feeling uninformed, as officials insisted that all goods must be removed from the roadside without offering any storage solutions. With the holiday season fast approaching, the vendors are urgently calling for intervention to address their concerns and ensure that they can continue to operate during this critical time. The uncertainty surrounding their livelihoods has left many feeling anxious as they prepare for the busy festive period. Minister Manik Chand addresses deadlock in Region 10 chairman election. News source Guyana reports, Minister of Local Government and Regional Development, Priya Manik Chand, clarified today that her office does not play a role in resolving the deadlock following the election for a regional chairman in Region 10, which ended in a tie last month. During the election held on October 10th, Win Party candidate Mark Goring and a Partnership for National Unity, APNU, candidate Dominique Blair both received an equal number of votes for the position. The Region 10 Clerk of Council, Dwight John, announced that the minister would need to cast a deciding vote to break the tie. However, Manik Chand explained during her appearance on Go Mosley Radio that amendments to the laws governing the election of regional chairmen, made between 2015 and 2020, have removed the minister's role in such situations. Somewhere around 2017, the role of the minister changed. I agree with the change. The minister, who is politically partisan, would not decide who becomes the chair if something like this happens, she stated. The election has been marked by gridlock, prompting Wynne to threaten legal action against the clerk of council if a meeting to elect the chairman and vice chairman was not convened within 48 hours. Despite that ultimatum expiring, no progress has been made regarding the election. Manikchand emphasized that the responsibility to advance the process lies with the clerk of council. I have no doubt that Region 10 is going to have their process moved forward, and a chair and vice chair will be determined, she said. Sometimes it is far more than you see on the surface. I think the parties there have their own issues too. Last week, at the swearing-in ceremony for regional chairs and vice chairs for the other 9 regions, President Irfan Ali expressed confidence that the elections for Region 10 would occur in due time. I am sure that within the ambit of the Constitution and governing rules, the chair and vice chair of Region 10 will be sworn in at the appropriate time, he told reporters. In a pre-action letter from Wynne's attorney Sayan Durjan, it was contended that the clerk of council made errors during the electoral process, requiring a restart of the voting for the 2 top regional positions. Durjan argued that the suspension of the election process was unlawful and reiterated that the minister no longer possesses the authority to unilaterally appoint a chairman for any regional democratic council. Delays continue for Bamia Primary School construction in Region 10. Over 4 years after the award of a contract to build Bamia Primary School in Region 10, Upper Demerara Burbis, the project remains incomplete, prompting dissatisfaction from Minister of Local Government and Regional Development, Priya Manikchand. The contract, valued at $346 million and awarded to St8 Investment Incorporated in November 2021, was intended for a 20-month project with an original completion deadline of July 2023. However, a series of delays have pushed the timeline beyond several extensions, including a promised reopening for the September 2025 school year, which has also not materialized. In her first days as minister, Manikchand visited the unfinished construction site in September, expressing frustration with the contractors for the ongoing delays. She threatened to withdraw the project from the contractors if timely completion wasn't achieved. During a recent appearance on Go Mosley Radio, Manikchand provided an update on the status of the school, stating that contractors have assured her that only minor works remain. Up to yesterday, the ministry was there, and there were some very minor works left to be done. But we refuse to take a building for the sake of taking a building, she stated, emphasizing the necessity of fulfilling contractual obligations before accepting the facility. While acknowledging that setbacks and unforeseen circumstances can occur, Manikchand stressed that the extent of the delays with the Bamia School project is unacceptable. Contractors have to understand that if you bid for a project, you are committing to deliver it at the agreed cost and timeline, she noted, indicating a reduced tolerance for breaches of contract. Hopes remain for the completion of the school so that students can benefit from the investment. They've assured me that they too want to get off the site, so I suspect, even before school closes, we can get the children into school, she said, expressing disappointment over the prolonged timeline. Once completed, the new Bamia Primary School will serve a growing student population and feature modern facilities, including 4 classrooms, a gymnasium, an auditorium, a science lab, a music room, a library, smart classrooms, and updated restroom facilities. In April, St8 Investment Incorporated claimed the project was nearing its final stages, with minor electrical installations and plumbing work outstanding. They cited challenges such as labor shortages, increased material costs, and weather-related delays as factors impacting the timeline. The community continues to await the completion of a facility designed to enhance educational opportunities in the region. vendors at Stabroek Market Square to remain amid beautification efforts. Minister of Local Government and Regional Development, Priya Manikchand, has reassured vendors at the Stabroek Market Square that they will not be displaced as part of the ongoing beautification efforts in Georgetown, at least for the time being. During an appearance on Go Mosley online radio, Minister Manikchand addressed concerns stemming from recent objections related to the erection of construction walls in the busy commercial area. She noted that years of mistrust between the central government, the municipality, and the vendors contributed to the apprehension regarding potential displacements, especially during the festive season. At this point, vendors are not going to be moved, and they will not be moved at this point, she confirmed. The construction walls are part of a larger beautification project that will include the erection of a Christmas tree and the creation of an elevated platform to accommodate vendors, commuters, and local artists. Minister Manikchand clarified that only 2 vendors were operating in the designated area for the beautification project, and they have not been displaced. She expressed her commitment to working with the vendors to ensure their needs are met, stating, "When the square is finished, we will give you a corner in that square where you will become the coconut man of the square, if this is something you want." Looking towards the future, Minister Manikchand emphasized the importance of bringing structure and organization to markets and public spaces across Georgetown and beyond. She hinted at plans to restore the historic Stabroek market, stating, "The government is looking at restoring the entire Georgetown, starting with Stabroek block." She reassured that the government aims to enhance rather than replace the market, mentioning a contract already awarded for roof repairs to prevent leakage and flooding. "It is not about pulling everything down and putting in glass buildings. Georgetown must look and feel like an old Georgetown but cleaner, modern, and equipped with public facilities," she added. As the beautification project unfolds, the government is partnering with the King's Foundation to promote sustainable urban development in Georgetown. Guyana's oil and gas sector attracts new investments. Guyana's burgeoning oil and gas sector is poised to receive significant new investments as international interest escalates. Speaking at the Guyana Oil and Gas Energy Chamber's annual dinner over the weekend, President Irfan Ali highlighted the influx of reputable international companies seeking opportunities in both offshore and onshore operations. President Ali emphasized that the country has successfully positioned itself to attract international investments, while simultaneously supporting local private sector growth. "There is no market that has generated this level of confidence and interest in this sector. We have defined our market in a way that is attractive yet supportive," he stated. The president underscored the sector's expansion, noting production levels have surged from approximately 650,000 barrels of oil per day at the beginning of the year to around 930,000 barrels per day currently. He mentioned strategic developments, including a partnership with QatarEnergy, Total, and Petronas, which involves a $300 million investment in oil development. Moreover, the president indicated that additional agreements are anticipated by year-end, including another shallow block contract, along with exploration in the Qaidar block estimated at $600 to $700 million. The president also discussed infrastructure investments, such as the gas onshore project in Berbice and the Wales gas-to-energy power plants. He projected that the Wales operations alone would require approximately $4 billion over the next 5 years. Overall, the Wales and Berbice initiatives are expected to support around $10 billion in infrastructure and investment. In the upcoming days, President Ali plans to outline the government's economic expansion strategy and infrastructure development trajectory for the next 5 years, further emphasizing the promising future of Guyana's oil and gas sector. Guyana observes World AIDS Day with urgent call for testing and treatment. Guyana today joined the global community in observing World AIDS Day, with Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony urging individuals at risk of contracting HIV to get tested and seek necessary treatment. Over the past year, Guyana has reported 449 new cases of HIV, bringing the total number of individuals affected by the virus to more than 10,000. There are concerns that additional cases remain unreported due to a lack of testing. People who feel that they are at risk should come forward to get tested. Many are hesitant to visit clinics due to concerns about being seen by others. For those individuals, self-testing kits are available so you can test yourself at home. The crucial point is that you must know your status. Minister Anthony stated during a World AIDS Day conference at the Arthur Chung Conference Center. The minister highlighted the significant progress Guyana has made in its fight against HIV/AIDS, emphasizing investments in treatments, including antiretroviral therapy, ART, which is readily available for those infected. If you are negative, you should adopt behaviors that maintain your negative status. If you are positive, do not hesitate. Come into one of the clinics to begin treatment. This is very important, he asserted. Minister Anthony explained that consistent use of ART can lead to viral suppression, meaning the virus can become undetectable in a person's system. Virally suppressed means that with medication, the virus is at such a low level that we probably won't be able to detect it. If you are virally suppressed, you cannot transmit the virus to your partner, which is why treatment is crucial, he noted. He emphasized the importance of adhering to treatment regimens and urged all Guyanese to take proactive measures to protect themselves. He expressed optimism that if the disease's transmission is suppressed by 2030, Guyana could eliminate HIV/AIDS as a public health threat. Globally, an estimated 40.8 million people are living with HIV, with over 340,000 cases reported in the Caribbean region. Minister Anthony reiterated the tools available for prevention, detection, and treatment, urging the public to take responsibility for their health. Government of Guyana launches Electronic National Digital Identity Card, EID, distribution. The government of Guyana has begun rolling out the new Electronic National Digital Identity Card, EID, starting with the enrollment of public sector employees. Staff from the Ministry of Home Affairs are currently being registered in this initial phase. To complete the registration process, individuals must present a valid national ID, proof of address, and relevant civil status documents. In September, President Dr. Irfan Ali announced the imminent nationwide distribution of the EID card, becoming the first recipient himself. He emphasized the establishment of regional offices to facilitate and expedite the distribution process across the country. In 2023, Guyana signed a contract worth $35.4 million with the German company Veridos Identity Solutions for the implementation of the National Electronic ID System. The EID card aims to streamline access to government and healthcare services for its holders. The new identification system will serve both citizens and non-citizens. It includes an EID citizen card for Guyanese nationals and an EID resident card for migrants meeting specific legal criteria, such as valid work permits. The Home Affairs Ministry noted that the EID resident card is intended to ensure compliance with national regulations, including those mandated by the Guyana Revenue Authority, GRA, and the National Insurance Scheme, NIS. Additionally, it provides secure access to both government and private sector services. EID resident cards issued to non-citizens will remain valid only for the duration of their approved legal stay in Guyana. Once that period expires, the cards will automatically become invalid. This initiative represents a significant advancement in the country's efforts to modernize identification and access to services, promoting efficiency and security for residents and the government alike.